Welcome, everyone, to the sanctuary of the North Hills Community Baptist Church. Pastor Tim here with Heidi, and we're here to invite you to join us in worship tomorrow morning. We hope you'll join us on our worship service, live streamed at 10 a.m. Now, don't forget that we were to be here in the sanctuary for our first in-person worship service since March 15th, but the COVID numbers accelerated and the curve is upward, so we had to cancel. But we will be here online, and we hope you will be too. We'll be considering one of my favorite passages, 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, verses 13 to 18, words of the Apostle Paul. And I read that text and I was thinking, recently a book was published about political figures, and it was so incendiary that the author didn't want to be named, so it was published under the name Anonymous. Now, what's it like to read a book and you don't know who's written it? It's interesting that the day and age in which we live feels that way. There are a great many people in the world today who believe that there's no one who's writing this book of history. Things happen as they happen. And maybe that's not a contemporary insight. Shakespeare said the same thing in Macbeth years ago. Life is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. Well, tomorrow we're going to talk about with the Apostle Paul, the author of all that is. So hope you'll join us.
As Christians, we always are seeking to know the author. We want to know more about Jesus. And our response to that is then to go and tell the story as well. And we're going to be singing that hymn tomorrow, I Love to Tell the Story. What you may not know is that the hymn actually came from a set of poems. And from this poem, we just didn't get I Love to Tell the Story. We also got the hymn, Tell Me the Old, Old Story. It was written about 1866 by Catherine Hankey. And so we don't know much about Catherine, but we know that her love for Christ, as she was an evangelist, she sought to know Christ more, and her response was to write this great hymn, which we'll be sharing with others who may be seeking to know Christ as well. We'll see you tomorrow at 10 a.m.